Best English to Hindi interpretation meaning. What is back interpretation? Back interpretation, additionally called turnaround interpretation, is the course of re-deciphering content from the objective language back to its source language in strict terms. For instance, on the off chance that you're making an interpretation of content from English to Swedish, the interpreter would likewise compose a back interpretation English, so the goal of the deciphered choice is effortlessly perceived. Back interpretations don't influence the interpretation memory or different assets like glossaries utilized by the interpreter. Back interpretation, now and again alluded to as twofold interpretation, is most useful when the substance within reach incorporates slogans, mottos, titles, item names, shrewd expressions and plays on words on the grounds that the suggested significance of the substance in one language doesn't be guaranteed to work for another dialect or area. The back interpretation offers the substance proprietor the amazing chance to audit what artistic freedoms the interpreters took to adjust the substance for their market. Furthermore, as a rule, for content that is this complicated, the interpreter will offer different choices so the source content proprietor can settle on a choice that seems okay for the brand. Back interpretation is many times utilized as a quality confirmation strategy. The back interpretation process seems to be this. An etymologist interprets the first source text into the new dialect. Then the etymologist deciphers the confined string once more into the source language in a real sense to convey the significance of the interpretation. The substance proprietor or undertaking chief chooses the choice that best address the brand, tone and goal of the source content. How could you utilize the back interpretation technique? Frequently, interpretation customers imagine that they can gauge quality between interpreters or offices by doing a visually impaired test. They send an undertaking to one merchant for interpretation. Then, at that point, they send the finished interpretation to a different seller, requesting that they make an interpretation of it back to the first language. Ultimately, they contrast the two variants with perceive how comparative they are. Their supposition that will be that they can detect blunders by contrasting the renditions. Mistakes can be presented anytime all the while. It's profoundly far-fetched that you'll at any point find a precise duplicate from back interpretation in light of the distinctions between the source text and the deciphered text form that occur during the standard confinement process. To make content enticing, successful, and pertinent to your crowd, interpreters frequently present unobtrusive social changes, called transcreation. The back interpretation offers the substance proprietor the amazing chance to audit what artistic freedoms the interpreters took to adjust the substance for their market.